Control your opponent's every move. Hello and welcome to the table, and today I'm back with another One Piece gameplay Decktech video. Today, talking about Doffy. I love this guy. I miss this guy. Anything purple, I love like no other deck, and Doffy here is no exception to that. Panel is, but that's not in today's video. Doffy here is a very, very dumb deck. Because he just controls everything. He pulls all the strings. He manipulates so much of what the opponent can do and not do, and it's just so beautiful. Because what this guy does, he is a 5k 5 life purple leader that on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can minus a Don, select your leader or one of your Don Quixote Pirates type characters, and change the target of this attack to the selected card. So basically something blocks, quote unquote, for Don -1. The incoming attack for Don -1 once a turn for any of your opponent's attacks. That is pretty freaking dumb. Pretty freaking dumb. And I love it. He just manipulates so much of what the opponent can and can't do, and it's just perfect. So, what does this guy do? Well, he wants to go second first off. He wants to play Searchers on the first turn, like 2 Searchers, like a Dellinger or 2, maybe a Sugar, and just get all the tools, get all the things that you need, then ramp a little bit more, make sure that you get a good amount of Dawn to be able to use so you can comfortably use your Doffy leader ability, and have some extra Dawn lying around to just help you with other things if needed. And then you just want to swarm the board with the Swarm Doffy, playing 5 costs like crazy, and then just playing too many of these for your opponent to handle, and you kill him that way. Playing a mixture of that and using just events to completely lock down your opponent's ability to crawl back into the game, or just playing a giant Doffy and killing them that way. Just ripping all the tempo that they potentially have right out from under them, and then kill them. So this deck, it's just really good at controlling the early game, establishing a very scary presence in the mid game, and making sure your opponent cannot get back in the late game, and you win before they have the chance to. So, what do we have? We have Searchers. That is what I'm going to start off with. Dellinger being a 1-cost 2k 1k counter Searcher, basically, because on KO, you ramp a Rested Dawn, then look at the top 5 for a Don Quixote Pirates card, add to your hand, rest on the bottom in any order. So the Doffy leader, you minus a Dawn, redirect into this, you ramp a Dawn, so you basically don't go down any Dawn, and you search. So you quote-unquote block any attack you want, and then also get to search. It's like the best Searcher ever. That's not true, but still pretty freaking insane. It's just so much value packed into one little perfect package. And then we got Sugar, a 1-cost, basically 2-cost Searcher, because you have to spend 1 to play it, then 1 to rest it, and look at the top 5 and search, just like Dellinger. But the thing is, in this deck, Sugar might actually be better than any other 2-cost Searcher is in any other deck. Because you play, Sugar and Dellinger on the first turn. Next turn, you search with the Sugar, and let's say you still have Dellinger lying around. The opponent swings into the Sugar. Well, actually, you redirect into Dellinger. Then you can use Sugar twice. You can search with Sugar 2 times. That, in my opinion, is really stupidly powerful. And, pretty worthwhile, having this in the deck. And for some extra consistency, we got I Will Not Forgive Those Who Laugh at My Family, a 1-cost main counter event that looks at the top 3 for any Don Quixote Pirates card other than itself, puts it in your hand, rests on the bottom in any order. It's just extra consistency. It's niche, it's a 2 of, just more consistency. Then you got the ramp, the mid-game ramp, Sugar and Baby 5, Swarm Sugar and Baby 5. They're both 4-cost 1k 1k counter characters. They don't play ramp and active, but they each have unique on-KOs. Swarm Sugar's on-KO being if your opponent has 6 or more Dawn, you get to play a 5-cost or lower Don Quixote Pirates type card from your hand, character card from your hand, which is pretty good because you have a lot of those 5 costs. And then Baby 5 here on KO minuses a Dawn to gain you a life. So, in a way, Baby 5, you redirect into it with Doffy, you gain 1 life, sort of, like you're blocking an attack, and then the Baby 5's on KO gains you a life, the opponent swings, you just take it. So you're kind of like blocking, quote unquote, 2 attacks in your life. That's pretty solid. That's pretty powerful. And these are both 3-ofs for very good reasons. Swarm Sugar, you generally only want to see 1 copy of it, and it's not insane after like the turn where you would play it. And then Baby 5 used to be a niche 2-of in the deck, but because it's just so good into so many decks, it's a 3-of. So you can more consistently see 1 copy of it and potentially 2 in a game if you need it. And it just is so valuable every single time. Now, the unfortunate thing with these is that you do have to wait a little bit before using them, but still, they're very good. Because with Sugar, the turn, if you're going second, that you play this, you won't be able to use its on KO on your opponent's next turn, and Baby 5 basically sets you back a whole turn. So you want to use that in the later portions of the game when you're more comfortable and you have a lot of Dawn to spend and use. So, wait a little bit for that. But, getting past that, we got Swarmingo. This guy being an 8-cost 9k that on play minuses a Dawn to play a 5-cost or lower Don Quixote Pirate type character from your hand. And then, on your opponent's turn, once per turn, you can rest one of your Dawn and then ramp an active Dawn. I'll get back to that effect in a bit, but let's look at the first one. On play, you minus a Dawn to play a 5-cost, basically. You have a couple of those. The first one being Monet, which is kind of like a body that you can actually swing with, version of Sugar and Baby 5. But Monet here is a 5-cost 6k 1k counter that ramps an active Dawn on play, and on KO draws the 2 trashes you won, and ramps 2 rested Dawn. It's just a very good way to pressure the opponent and punish them for swinging into one of your bodies. So that's pretty nice, pretty solid, pretty powerful. Beyond that, you also have Virgo, which is a 5-cost 7k that, when attacking, minuses a Dawn, shrinks one of your opponent's characters by 2k power for the turn. Really good at managing the opponent's board, and it's a vanilla stat body, so also can never complain about that. And on top of that, once per turn, if one of your Don Quixote Pirate type characters would be removed from the field by an effect of your opponent's, just minus a Dawn. Just do that instead. Against any deck that runs removal anymore, you don't want to be a victim to it. This says you're not going to be, because just minus a Dawn. And because it's a purple deck, I mean, yeah, sometimes it is a little inconvenient to minus that Dawn, but it's just so easy, so free, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And as some alternatives, you got 2Ks that are also 5-costed, could be decent to play. Treble, just making it a little less punishing for you to minus Dawn on your opponent's turn, like you just get the Dawn back, and it's a 5k body, and it's mostly just a searchable 2k. Nichely can be played off the Doffy or the Swarm Sugar. Monet, similar thing, it's only a 2-of, but it's a 6k, basically searchable 2k counter for the deck, and it's solid, it's pretty good. I have a 2-2 split of this and Usohachi, which is not a searchable 2k, but it is still solid because it's basically a 3-cost way to rest a 5-cost or lower character, which is kind of nuts. It can allow you to go for game when you otherwise couldn't. So I just wanted to bring that up here. Also a 2-of, like the counter Monet. But then lastly, with this Swarmingo, that second ability, you need to have an active Dawn in order to ramp a Dawn on your opponent's turn. Basically making it so you don't go down any Dawn if you use your leader ability on your opponent's turn. Well, this Rosinante can be really helpful with that. It itself is a 5-cost 6k 1k counter that on play. Yeah, you can trash an event to draw 2 cards, which is awesome because you have a lot of events. But then on top of that, at the end of your turn, if you have 7 or more Dawn on your field, you can set 2 as active. So 1, you can just ramp a Dawn, and then boom, you've gone down no Dawn basically by playing this Doffy. You're back up to 8 Dawn, and then 10 on your opponent's turn. If you play the Giant Doffy, a 10-cost 10k that on play, minus 3 Dawn, either pop an 8 or less, or make it so 3 7-cost or lower cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. There's an argument to put another copy of this in the deck. I don't think you need another copy, because it could be really bricky if you have 3 copies of it, and I just think 2's plenty in most matchups. It's a little risky for some, but I think 2 is fine. But Rosinante can be a really good way to help you play one of these 10-cost Doffys when you otherwise couldn't, and is the only way, unless your opponent like KOs Monet or something like that, to allow you to play 2 of these Doffys in one turn. Not that that's necessarily a giant strategy for the deck anymore, but it's a possibility if you need it. But the main thing with this Rosinante that's super powerful is you restand 2 Dawn. Now that can be helpful to help you ramp with this Swarm Doffy, but it's also helpful to be able to hold up some of your counter events. So let's get into the events super quick, and then we'll get into some games. Divine Departure being one that doesn't cost 2, but it is a 0-cost way to trash a brick from your hand, and then counter for 3 on your leader or one of your characters, which is always nice. Or as a main effect, you can rest 5 of your Dawn cards, and if you have any given Dawn, you shrink one of your opponent's characters by 8k power for the turn. Can be really good to help you manage your opponent's board when you otherwise couldn't, or just kill something in a way that you otherwise couldn't, like a 12k blocker Newgate. Super powerful, super good. Beyond that, just a really good counter. But then beyond that, we got the 2 costs that are especially good to play off this Rosinante. That being Slow Beam and Bullet Strain. And like Divine Departure, Slow Beam cannot be searched, but it is very valuable as a 4 of. This being a 2-cost counter event that, yes, you have the minus a Dawn in order to play, but then gives one of your characters or leaders plus 2k for the battle. Then you rest one of your opponent's characters. So yeah, you're only countering for 2, but then you rest any of your opponent's characters that you want. Something that they're about to swing with. Something that you want to rest so you can swing into it next turn. A blocker that you don't want them to have ability to block with on the next turn so you could go for game. It's just so valuable and so versatile. It's just insane. You need to have 4 copies of this in the deck. And then you also got Bullet Strain against Go Wide decks. It's a 2-cost counter event that also minuses a Dawn, but then gives one of your leader of characters plus 2k power for the battle, then an additional 2k for the turn. So like, let's say your opponent sends 8 into your leader. Well, you counter for 9 right off the get-go, and then after that has resolved, your leader is now a 7k for the rest of the turn. The amount of value you get off of that is just so insane. I think it's worth having 2 copies of this in the deck. That's just my opinion, though. But that is the deck. It is super powerful. It just is so good in the early game at making it so your opponent can't get too much pressure on you, or at least to the point to where, like, you won't lose immediately once you get into the mid-game and you develop bodies, like the Swarmingo into Virgo, or Swarmingo into Rosinante to hold up counter events. And from there, once you just establish, like, a Swarmingo and a 5-cost, and another 5-cost, or another Swarmingo and a 5-cost, then from there, you just control the opponent, make sure that they don't get too much board state power, don't get you too low in life, and then from there, you just win the game. And yes, you don't have too many 2k counters in this deck, you only have 8, but yet Divine Departure is a 3-of to help you with that. And you got some really powerful counter events to help you there too. So let's dive right into some games and see why Doflamingo, in my opinion, is the true puppet master of One Piece still, in a deck that controls every move your opponent makes. Going up against Zanji, Zoro, and Sanji. That is interesting. You don't go up against this guy very often. And he's going second. Well, I think we've already lost, guys, and this hand is absolutely pathetic. I have a bad feeling about this. This guy's aggressive as heck. I need to establish a good early game in order to have a chance, and I don't see that. I don't see that early game. Oh, okay, just got better. Okay. Play this. Come on, Dellinger. Dang it, no Dellinger. What do I want to grab? I mean, this 10-cost Doffy could do some solid work. And then next turn, I like play a Monet and work my way up to that guy? I don't know. I could get another sugar. And that's the only other thing I would consider. Either another sugar or Doffy. And I think I'm going to go with Doffy. I think that's the best line for me. And then let's go 6 into life. 6 into the life. They countered. Okay, I'll take it. And they countered with the Mihawk that they just got. Unless they have another Mihawk. Unless they have 2 Mihawks in the hand. Yeah, I will let that go. Sugar will die. Yep, they had an R1 and an Arlon. Okay. 6 in a life. I will take. I got some 2Ks. That's kind of nice. I don't have anything besides that. But it's okay. Let's go 5 into Arlon. See if the opponent counters out of that too. Okay. If we can starve them and not really go for their life too much and just starve their board, that could be a very good option. That could be a pretty good line. Because they only have 4 cards in hand. If you can starve this deck before it gets like the draw engine part of it going, then you're golden. Remember what I was just saying? Forget that. 5 in a life. I think I have to counter... But not yet. Okay, Dellinger. Would have loved that 5 turns ago. 6 in a life. Cool. I will give you a 2K. I will give you a 2K. Cheese and crackers. 6. Okay, you're going to restand the Arlon. Give you a 2K. And then are you not going to swing? Yes, let's go. Okay, so let's play a Dellinger, right? Dellinger and Virgo. These are the 2 things we're going to play this turn. We'll have Tudon up for something like a slow beam sword or bullet strain, whichever one works better. I think that's probably a pretty good line. So in that case, let's go 5 into life. See if they take. Okay, they do. 6 into Monet. They counter. Okay. Dellinger, Virgo, pass. See what the opponent does from here. Because I think if we could get them to go into this Monet, 1, it'll take a little pressure off of life, which is awesome. But 2, it'll get us up to 10 Dawn for next turn. Okay. The opponent's just... Okay. You have 6 Dawn left? Let's... Do I use the bullet string? I would rather not. So let's minus a Dawn, redirect here. Gain arrested. I could go for Doffy and not care as much about playing this Doffy next turn, which I don't really want to do anyways. So I like that line. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Cool. 6 in a life. Alright, this is about to go very well for us. Slow beam store. Blah. Counter, rest, resolve. Carrot. Darn it. That's annoying. That's a very annoying card. So I have 9 Dawn. 9 Dawn. Interesting. Let's... This Baby 5 is going to be a very good card. I'm just going to say that now. Let's go 5 into life. Or 5 into Arlon. They might let it go now, because they could freeze 2 things. And I'm kind of fine with that, because we're getting one of their pieces off the board. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. We got rid of... You could freeze my Doffy. Okay. Sweet misplay from the opponent there. Let's go 7 into life. Not going to return any Dawn. Excuse me. A counter. Okay, I will take that. Let's play Doffy. Mine it. Nope, use card action. Minus. Play a Corazon or Rosie. Do I trash either of these events? Bullet Strain I don't know if I necessarily need, because at this point, I don't know if their board's going to get wide enough. I mean, I say that. This could get wide enough very quickly, where Bullet Strain is very good. But as of right now, he's not great, and part of me would kind of just like more counter in hand. So I will trash Bullet Strain. I'll take it, I guess. And then restand 2. Well, what are you going to do? This carrot is unfortunately going to be able to freeze Virgo, which really sucks. They play a Vivi, which draws them more cards, which really sucks. Cavendish. Yep, this is the card I did not want them to see. So if I can rest this, if at all possible, I'm going to do it. Okay. Ramp. And then what? Hmm. 3 things. So I don't want to play this Doffy yet either. I could play this Doffy into Baby 5 next turn, which I would honestly be kind of fine with. But at the same time, though, I don't want to play this until they, like, take the time to get rid of one of the pieces on my board. So I think what I will do here for now is just minus a Dawn and redirect into the 9. For now. 7 in a life. Okay, you're restanding that. Okay. And then they might not swing with this. I want to kill this, so I am just gonna counter with this. Look for Monet. That's a 1K. I will take that. And then Noro. Start returning. I really want to minus this carrot, but at the same time, this might be my only chance to kill Cavendish. So I'm gonna... Oh. Give that +2. I think carrot's gonna be a lot easier to manage. So I'm gonna rest the Cavendish. And then I'll give a 1. Give a 1K. They swing with that too. Oh. Oh. Opponent. You're not gonna like this turn. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about playing this Doffy, because I have Divine Departure to counter with it. I don't think I'm gonna need to use that to manage any of their board. So I'll just straight up play something like Baby 5. I think that's a good line. And that leaves me with 5 Dawn. Well, yes, they have 7 cards in hand, but I'm going to be able to kill both of these this turn. I guarantee that much. So, let's go. 10. 10 in a Cavendish. Sweet. So I need 4 Dawn? So I have 5 to work with? Or no, 4 to work with? That works out perfect. 10 into carrot. You're going to count out of that one? Okay, I'll take that. Okay, in that case, I will hold on to the Baby 5 and have Dellinger to use for next turn instead. 8 into 6. Cool. I'm not going to be able to ramp with Rosinante. That's kind of unfortunate. Do I need to worry about that, though? So if I minus a Dawn to redirect, that puts me to 8. If I have to protect something, that puts me to 7. So that would suck, but I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine like this. Oh, wait. Oh, I could have restood that. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, you're just playing 2 more of those. That's great. That's great. Yeah. I'm fine with that, at least. That they decide, to not do anything there. Okay. I'm not going to worry about anything from my hand. Like, playing anything from my hand right now. I'm just going to go 5 in a life. I take. Interesting. Interesting. 7 in a life. What are they doing? Okay, they concede. I'm like, do they just have a lot of bricks? I might go for a game. Yep, they just had a lot of bricks. So that's awesome. We will take it. It was a weird start. But we managed their board pretty well. They're in the mid-game. And they drew enough bricks at the right time. Whew! What a close game. They're near. It got less close near the end. But still, I will take it. Let's get into another game. Going up against Sabo. I will go... That deck wants to go first. Does it? I mean, I know I want to go second. And that's a horrible hand. This hand is slightly better. Not much, but slightly. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't have a feeling that this is gonna go too well. And we got 3 2Ks, which is nice, I guess. That's decent against this deck. But we only have a sugar that's realistically a good card to play. Unless we get to this Doffy, which is gonna be a while. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this one. I think this deck does want to go second, so it worked out. Because we want to go second too. So, that's nice. Just gonna search Whiff, even though that's not possible. I mean, other than Bello Betty? 4 Bello Betties? Or the other 3 Bello Betties, and then 2... Nope. Koala. Okay. You can't play that this turn, at least. I'll take that much. Okay. Rosie. Just made this better. Let's search. No play for next turn. But the sugar could work and be decent. So I will get the sugar. Yeah, let's just go like that. And pass. And pass. Swing a 4K leader into this. Not the Bello Betty. I don't know why I'm saying that, but eh. Okay, so they got 3 Dawn. I don't know what they play on 3 Dawn besides just, yep, more searchers. Awesome. Love to see it. I mean, I don't really. I kind of would prefer them to just put Dawn on and swing or something. I don't know. But, yeah. So, what'd they just get? Okay, they got the 4K counter event, basically. You trash a Roger, which is nice, and then the Rev Army HQ, which, I don't care. I have a feeling this matchup is not gonna... I don't know. I just don't... I'm not confident against this deck. I have lost way too many times to this deck, because I just... Yeah. Where are you going? 6 in a life? 6 in the life. I will take. Okay, 8 cost Doffy. That makes this hand better. That definitely makes this hand better. Baby 5. Okay. I could play that and the sugar. That could be solid, and I'll search with sugar next turn. So that's cool. 5 into 4. Take that, opponent. You can do it, opponent. Counter. Counter, please. Are they actually tempted to counter? Okay. I'm like, I don't know if they should necessarily counter. I'll play a baby 5, gain an active, and play a sugar, and pass. So we'll be at 7 Dawn next turn. So I could play a sugar, try and find something like a Virgo, and then the next turn play Doffy into Rosinante. And I think that would be pretty good. I think that would be pretty solid. That, I think, would get us online very well, and we would have a lot of good things going for us from there. Weird that they're only at 4 life. That just seems wrong for a 2-color deck. Alright, there's the Sabo. Gosh dang it. And this is a 7k. Yep, this is where it becomes impossible for us to win. Oh, I just don't... Yeah. Not good. Not good. So now they're a 6k leader too. That's the other thing that really sucks. That's really annoying. It's so nice to get value out of this leader swing every turn. Just strip cards from the opponent's hand slowly but surely, or whittle down their life, and nope, just can't do that. Alright, you trash the koala. You trash a 2k. That scares me. For a different 2k. Okay. I honestly prefer that one's gone and this one's in, because that could manage something on my board way too easily. 7 in a life. Okay, cool. I think I gotta take. Not that I want to, but I think I have to. I think I just have to. What are you swinging 3 into? This is active. Okay. Are you gonna swing? I was like, are you gonna swing 3 again? I could get a Monet. That's fine. I think that's the best line here. So I'll just do that. Yeah, just put the rest of these like that. I think that's fine. We can go 5 into 3. Maybe the opponent decides to let that go, because there's no real point in this card being on the board. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. They could block. Realistically, they could, if they really wanted to. I don't know why they're debating it. It's not really that important of a card. So we whittle 2k. In this case, 3k. He's the leader. Buffs everything. That is such a good anthem. That Sabo anthem is just so powerful. It's insane. Alright, so 6 Dawn. I will just play a Monet, gain an active Dawn. Sugar. And then... Bullet Strain? I think I'm going to need a Bullet Strain at some point if I want to have any chance of living. I have 3 2Ks, which is nice. But I think I just need to have that kind of a card. I would almost prefer the sword. I don't think another 8-cost Doffy is gonna do me too much good. I'm just gonna get the Bullet Strain. I think that's a fine play. Yeah. Let's just go with that and pass. So we got 2 bodies. We got 2 sugars that they're going to need to swing into. So 1 swing from the Betty and then 1 swing from their leader. Not going at life. I'm happy about that. I am very happy about that. I could, if I wanted to, I could redirect in a baby 5 at some point this turn and then go up back to 4 life. That would be very nice. If we can get a decent board state over the opponent and they don't see their secret Sabo, which I don't know how likely that is, but who knows? There's a chance. If they don't have it, I don't know. I don't know. At least we're forcing the opponent to go into the sugar, and hopefully they don't have another way to get arrested onto that leader, so that's inconvenient, even though they only had to put 1 Dawn under it. No! I said no to this card. None of this. This card is unfair. Trash it. I guarantee the second this deck gets a starter deck, it's going to be so much more powerful. It's insane. It is going to be insane. Okay. So they got a 6K leader, which is awesome. And so they're gonna... Oh, 7 in a life. Interesting. Interesting. Are they not gonna really care about the sugars? Do I counter is the thing. Part of me thinks that I should save the baby 5 for now. And I think that's fair. So give a 2 and a 1. See if the opponent doesn't care about getting rid of both of these sugars. They do not. Okay. This time, I will redirect. Right? Huh. Interesting. What do I want to do next turn? It could swing 6 in the life, and then they block. And I could go a really big number into that Sabo, and maybe kill it. So I think I will minus, redirect, resolve, minus, and gain a life. And I'll hold out on the Doflamingo play for now. And just kill that Sabo. Okay, fine. Hopefully, kill that Sabo. And then we'll be good. And then we'll be good. Okay. What to do? So we have 8 Dawn. Let's start with 6 in a life. Opponent will probably block. Probably. Realistically, they will block. Unless they want to give me a 1K. In which case, I'm sort of okay with that. Okay, they do block. Okay, now the question is, do I actually go into this Sabo? Because it might be better to get the bodies on the board. And that could be really important. Because I don't have as much counter. I'm not going to have as much counter next turn. And these 2 events are going to be very important to have access to. Huh. Okay. So I could spend 1 to search. 2 to keep up an event. 5. 10 and 8. That wouldn't make a difference. 12 into 8. That would probably kill it. What's the likelihood that they, get another one or have another one? I think I need the board, so I will go 5 into the Betty. Because if I can get the little weenies off the board later, when I do use this sugar again, it's going to be a lot more annoying for them to go into the sugar. Okay, so let's Doffy. Minus. Play Rosinante. Do I trash either of these events? I don't think so. And then I'll end the turn. Restand 2. Pass to the opponent. This is a cost of 8 or less, right? Or cost of 7 or less. That's what I meant. So that's unfortunate because everything's in 8 cost. Remember what I just said? Everything's in 8 cost. Gosh dang it. I was going to say, doesn't that give 2 rested? I am so beyond screwed. I am so beyond screwed right now. It is insane. I don't think there is any hopes. Jeez. This is just not good. Not good. 8 in a life? Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah, I think this is as good of a time as ever to use the bullet strain. But they have this frickin' dragon, so it's like, what am I supposed to do? That's an 8K, that's a 7K. Maybe I don't use the... I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll definitely do this just to ramp it on. I definitely don't want to redirect. Do I use the slow beam sword? I don't know. Realistically, that might be the right play. Darn it all. I think I have to bullet string. This Doffy is not gonna do much of anything for us, unfortunately. I think what I have to do is bullet string. So I'm gonna do that. Minus a Dawn, plus 4. And now I'm a 7k for the turn. I think that's all we can do. So he could go a big number into life, which I will take. I'm fine going down to 3 life. If they swing with both of these, that is kind of what I would prefer. But they're just not going to do that. Or maybe they do. I think I will counter out of this. Get them to try and get rid of all my life, maybe? Or all my hand? Who knows? Maybe this leads to something. Also, they should be giving... Okay. Okay. Take. And it'll go 10. Okay. I think what I do here is I minus, redirect, resolve, trash Virgo. They concede? Why do they concede? 2k, 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 2k. They have a bunch of 2ks. What do you mean? Why did they concede? The opponent totally would have won that game. Why? Why would they do that? That is weird. I mean, I think I slowly could have crawled back into that game from then on. But they had so many 2Ks in hand. They would have been able to defend me going at their board next turn, and then they would have been in an even better position. I think that was a total misplay. I think the opponent had that game. I think they 1000% had that game. Especially considering they had Dragon coming up next. They literally could have used the Dragon next turn, when I guarantee that I would have either tried to kill, or they would have let that go at some point eventually, because they didn't want those too many cards from hand. I don't know what that was about. The opponent should not have conceded there. They would have. I am willing to bet they would have won that game, especially considering that Dragon would have gotten back this freaking Sabo that I would have tried to kill. Realistically, I would have gone for this Sabo first and then this Sabo, because then it would be easier to get rid of this one. But still. I don't know what that was about. Well, let's get into another game. Oh boy, going second. Battle of the Infinite game. I will keep. I like this hand. Oh boy, this is going to be a long game. A very long game. Very, very long game. Let's... Ooh, I like this. Dellinger and Sugar. I will pass. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. It is annoying that they can rest my characters. Wait, that, like, certain characters, them having the ability to rest them, really annoying. Kid and Killer, are you just gonna get that? Or play that? Blah, words. Are you just gonna play that opponent? I wonder. Oh no, just another Bonney. Okay. 5 and a 5. That I will... Do I redirect? I don't think I do. I think I will take. A lot of you might be saying, why did you do that? So I could swing 2 into the Bonney, and then they, you know, they could swing into the Dellinger. But should they? 2 and a 1. If the opponent defends... Oh. Crap. They can rest my leader. Oh no, they rest Sugar. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I don't get to search with that, which is annoying. I will say that. That is annoying. Shoulda... Dang it. Should have done that different. I sequenced so wrong there. I am so sorry, everybody. Alright. Go 6 in a life. Okay. Pass. So, here's the thing. They could go into the Sugar, but I'll just redirect into the Dellinger. Yep. Minus. Redirect. Gain arrested. I'm only going to get to use the Sugar 1 time still, which is annoying. Could have been able to use it twice. I definitely get this Doflamingo. 1000% I get this Doflamingo. I have no idea what to put on top where. Yeah, it's something like that. You could go 1 into 1. Aw. Cavendish, restand 2, search, keep a Dawn up. That's not annoying at all. That is not annoying at all. Whatever. I could go 1 into the Bonney. With, okay. That Bonney. I could go 1 into Bonney with this Sugar. And that would be really nice. I'm not going to do that first. I swear. 7. 7. What to do with 7? I mean, I think I play Virgo. And then what? When do I want to play what? Let's search for sure. I think I'm just going to get a 2K. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm just going to get a 2K. I don't know. Neither of these, really. I'll just get the Monet for some variation, I guess. Whatever. Let's actually put the Usopp on top. Okay. Let's go. Play this guy. Go 5 into Bonney. I just want to guarantee that I kill that Bonney. They're gonna rest the Virgo. Yeah, I should have played the Virgo. Dang it, I should have played the Virgo later. Freaking, what is my sequencing? Because now they're gonna play Carrot and freeze it, and this will never be active again. Which is annoying. Or they do that. I don't know if I prefer that. But I think I'm fine with that. I think I am. Kid and Killer. Okay. Just gonna go digging. What are you gonna dig for? They can swing at the Cavendish, restand. Law. Okay. I wonder if they're on the Omega Freeze version of Bonney. Because if they are, that's really annoying. If they aren't, I think I'm fine with that to a point. I don't know. But 5 and 1. Yep, you can have it. You can have that. And then if you're going to go bigger number into life, I will 1000% redirect into Sugar. And then, yep, okay, cool, cool, cool. Gonna restand 2. You're gonna have 4 Dawn to use for what? I don't know. Redirect, resolve, play out Monet, gain an active. Cool, cool, cool. What costs 4 Dawn in their deck? I mean, they could have like the 3 cost Bonnie. Yep, okay. What did I just say? Okay. And Laboon. I do have ways to interact with your board, but not that many. Like removal effects, I mean. So yeah, 4 2Ks, which is a couple of 2Ks. Just a couple. We're not going to be able to kill this Cavendish anytime soon, are we? That's really, really annoying. Seven in the Cavendish. Bonnie doesn't have ways to draw a lot of cards, though, which is nice in the sense that maybe we could starve them. I don't know how likely that is, but who knows? Gonna rest my leader. Yep. And then what? Have a 2K for me? You played a 2K. Oh, I'm happy about that. And they used their Kid and Killer ability for like no reason. So that's awesome. I will take that every day of the week. Okay. Use the action. Minus a Dawn. Play Rosinante. I don't know if Bullet String's good at all against their deck. So I'm just going to trash that. I'm happy with these cards, I guess. Restand 2. Your go, opponent. So, I have 8 Dawn. I can go down a Dawn, basically, without having to worry at all. Now, granted, I don't have the 10 cost Doffy. So I kind of do need some stuff. I need, like, another one of these 8 cost Doffy since I got another Rosinante. Mihawk. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, I think for now the game plan is to just go for board. Go for board, get rid of their resources, get rid of their bodies, and then go for their life. I think that's what we have to do. And I think the opponent's going to do pretty much the same thing. Okay, first off, let's gain an active. Second off, not get a redirect. I'll just give you a 1K. Just give you a 1K. With 7 Dawn, they can't play anything that costs 7 or more, okay? So, they could play the Bonney, that blocker Bonney, that 6K Bonney. And then they could go like 7 into something. Something like that. I don't know. Or they're gonna swing with Laboon. I'm fine with that. I can kill that Laboon at some point next turn because of that, in case that matters. I don't know if it does. 6 into that, though, is kind of interesting. They have 3 Dawn left? Why are they going into this so hard? You could just put 1 more Dawn and go into Virgo. I think I will give them a 2. Well, do I redirect into life? Part of me kind of wants to redirect into life here, and I think I am going to do that. I like that. I got on there Virgo. That's good. If they don't have a way to freeze these two, okay, sweet. 7 into that. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love how this is going right now. Oh, Divine Departure. That's really good. That's really good. Okay. They're gonna rest this Doffy no matter what. So I'm just gonna start with 9 into Cavendish. Yeah, into Cavendish. Definitely that. They'll probably block. Okay, rest the Virgo. Yep. I'm still never gonna get to swing with that Virgo. They'll counter for 2. Okay. Right? There's no way they don't. There's no way, opponent. I was now why. Okay, you give me a 2K. I'm gonna kill this Mihawk this turn, which is awesome. I'll be able to clear the opponent's entire board, potentially. And that's very good. Let's start... 8... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just guarantee that we kill this Cavendish. Let's just guarantee it. There's no way. Okay. They're not countering. Awesome. Divine Departure. Give that -8. Go 5 into 0. Sweet. Go 6 into 2. They could Luna, but this Doffy gets out of Luna range. That, I think, is fine. I think we're in a fine spot. The opponent has no board. They have the same amount of cards in hand as us, now less. Another Mihawk, that's fine. We'll be able to deal with that when we can. If they play a Carrot or a Luna, that would be annoying. And here comes Luna. Or not one of these. I would prefer this, but it's probably a Luna. It is probably... Yeah, gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Ah, it's so annoying. That is so beyond annoying. Well, they could go 7 into something. 7 into 6. Why not the Rosie? Interesting. Well, what I will do, so I don't lose any cards from hand, I will redirect into 9 and use the card action to ramp. Neat little trick. Neat little trick. Okay. I can play a Virgo. That's cool. And then I can use the rest of the Dawn to do whatever I want. They're going to want to take the life is the thing. They're probably not going to block with this this Mihawk. That is the thing. But in case they do, 9 into life. They might. And it's tempting to counter out of it. It's like, you know, tempted to block with it because all they need is a 2K counter. Dang it, they take. Son of a gun. Well, in that case, what do I want to do? Play a Virgo. And then go 10 into life. That they will, yep, take. Awesome. Restand 2. Pass the turn to the opponent. Yes, they have an 8K blocker on board. That really sucks. That really sucks. But we have a full board right now that we can semi-easily protect. And if one thing does go, it'll probably be this Monet because they keep wanting to kill this Monet for whatever reason. Another one of these. Freezing these two. I bet. Rosie and... No, Monet. That's the better play because then you can go for this Rosie, which is a very good card. Oh, that sucks. As long as they don't get rid of the 9K, I think I'm fine. If they just play blockers and are defensive, I also think that's fine. Because we can swing with our board and be aggressive and be defensive on their turn because of the redirect with Doffy. And I think that's perfect. Especially considering how few swings they have right now. If we continue to pressure them super heavily, I think we're in a great spot. Because we'll have 4 attackers next turn. Yes, they can rest one of them. But we'll have 3. So one's going to go into life or more and they don't block. 7 into 6. They could swing with this Mihawk. They could. Because of that, I'm not going to do anything. I will just counter for 2. And they'll probably pass. Yep, I was going to say, they should pass. They should pass. They're going to rest this freaking Virgo. That's the annoying part. But in case they don't, let's go 10 in a life. Dang it. Really annoying. Really annoying is what that is. They take it. Okay. They take it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Huh. What do I think of that? What do I think of that one? I could put the 9 Dawn on my Doffy and then just go 14 in a life. I could do that. I don't know if I want to, though. What I could do, I have 8 Dawn left, opponent. Go 7 in a life. Yes, I know I might not. I maybe shouldn't swing with this Rosinante. I don't care. I kind of would like them to continue to go for board and not care too much about my life because I have plenty of things. They block. Nice. 8. Let's try going into that. They'll probably block with, yep, this Bonney. Fine with that. Because that means choose 0. That's fine. We're not going to -2 Dawn this turn anyways. There's no way. But, now, all they have is a Mihawk. And if we continually get them down life, cards in hand, keep their board whittled down, carrot. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to see. But they do this. If it was this, cost us 7 or less? So they could still have Luna. They could still have Luna. That would really suck. They don't, though. 9 into what? Rosie? Are you going to go 9 into Rosie? Don't go 9 into this. 9 into Virgo. That I will 1000% protect. Minusing a Dawn and giving you a 1k. Minus Dawn. Redirect. 1k. And then pass. It's what you should do. That is what you should do here, opponent. Okay. Slow Beam Sword is exactly what we've been needing for the last while. Let's go 10 in a life again. They're gonna rest the Virgo, unfortunately. Yep. Really is annoying. Really annoying. I could Usohachi the rest of this carrot. That could be very, very valuable. Could be. They take. Okay, maybe this carrot isn't as valuable. Okay. What if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's go 7 in a life. Make it tempting for them to block. And if they do, I'll go big number into the Mihawk. They concede. Yep. I'm like, I don't think there is a way out for them. I don't think so. And I am very happy to say that there was not. We had such a firm control of that game. It was nuts. They never had a Luna. Does this deck run Luna? It doesn't look like it. Nope. They just have the stronger event. Realistically, they should have more than that. Because Luna is that good of a card. But holy crap, that was close. I did not think that we were gonna win that one. But we just control so heavily. We control every piece of the game. Every little move we control. Because that's Doffy. The puppet master pulling all the strings. But with all that said, hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you all enjoyed Doffy. I love this deck so much. It is my favorite purple deck to play in this game right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It's completely free. You won't regret it. Check out my other OP15 videos right here. My OP15 pack opening series right here. Look forward to some more One Piece content coming here soon. And I will see you all in the next video. Enjoy.